In the bowels of the decaying city of Blackwell, nestled between the crumbling industrial edifices and the river that ran like a wound through the earth, lay the abandoned meatpacking plant of Griswald Sons. Its history was drenched in blood, not just of animals, but of workers lost to accidents so gruesome that even the most hardened butchers spoke in hushed tones, afraid to awaken the ghosts of the past. Here is where the destitute and the damned would seek refuge from the unforgiving streets, their presence in the plant a dark secret amongst the city's underbelly. It was a place where the thin veneer of civilization was stripped away, leaving only the primal struggle for survival. Amidst these desperate souls was Jonah, a man whose mind had been shattered by the horrors he had witnessed in war. To him, the plant was not a refuge, but a battlefield. Its every shadow a lurking enemy, its every silence a prelude to chaos. One frigid night, when the mist from the river clawed at the rusted gates, Jonah heard the whispers. They seeped from the walls, from the very ground beneath him, coaxing him deeper into the labyrinth of disused machinery and skeletal remains of cattle. The whispers spoke of a room, a heart of darkness within the plant, where the line between man and beast had been blurred, where Griswald, the patriarch, had conducted unspeakable experiments, driven mad by his quest for a perverse perfection in flesh. Jonah's world was one of death, yet this promise of a hidden truth, a secret beneath the bile and bone, was a siren call he could not resist. Armed with a torch whose light flickered like the flame of sanity within him, Jonah followed the whispers. The plant was a mausoleum, its chambers connected by corridors lined with hooks that once held carcasses, now rusted sentinels overseeing his descent into madness. He found the room sealed behind a door marked by a symbol, a serpent devouring itself, an Ouroboros. With trembling hands, Jonah pried open the door and the air rushed out, as if the room had been holding its breath for decades. Inside the room, stretched impossibly large, its corners shrouded in darkness, the walls lined with tanks filled with a murky brine that preserved what lay within. Jonah's torchlight danced over the contents of the tanks, revealing a gallery of horrors. Bodies, but not human. Not entirely. They were grotesque amalgamations of man and animal, twisted parodies of life shaped by a mind that saw the body as mere clay. But it was the centerpiece of the room that held Jonah's gaze. Suspended above a pit in the center was a form that defied nature, a beast of many limbs and many faces, all human, each one etched with an expression of terror or ecstasy, perhaps both. As Jonah's eyes adjusted to the dim light, he saw that the pit was filled not with darkness, but with movement. It was alive, a writhing mass of flesh, limbs grasping, mouths gasping, a mass grave for the failed experiments that had been discarded, yet refused to die. The whispers grew louder, now a cacophony that filled the room, the voices of Griswold's creations begging for release, for an end to their torment. Jonah felt their agony, their rage, and in a moment of twisted clarity, he understood what he must do. He stepped towards the pit, his body trembling not with fear, but with purpose. With each step, the mass surged, anticipating his arrival. Jonah realized the abominations didn't seek death. They sought a leader, someone to meld with them, to guide them from the bowels of their hell. As Jonah stood at the edge, the flesh below reached up to him with longing. He could see beneath the bile and bone into the heart of Griswald's sin. And there, in the midst of the nightmare, Jonah found his calling. With a final look at the world he was leaving behind, Jonah descended into the pit. His flesh dissolved into the mass, and in his surrender, he became something new, a gestalt entity birthed from the darkest corners of human endeavor. The old meatpacking plant fell silent once more, but beneath the bile and bone, a new consciousness stirred. Blackwell slept above, ignorant of the burgeoning horror beneath, a horror that had finally found its purpose and would soon emerge to claim its due.